All right, let's get some more perspective on what these tariffs are going to mean for the economy and for consumers. We are joined right now by Dr. Ray Perryman with the Perryman Group. Dr. Perryman, thanks for fitting us in on short notice today. I know that you are an economist who is listened to by legislators here in Texas and beyond. I just want to pick your brain here because we just heard these tariffs being announced. Were these broader than what you were expecting? I think that caught some people off guard today.
Well, given some of the preliminary announcements that had been made and that sort of thing, it was pretty much in line with what they'd been saying they would do. I think all of us hoped they wouldn't do that much, but it was pretty much in line with what we were expecting them to announce. I don't think tariffs of this magnitude can be sustained for any significant period of time without some severe dislocations. I expect some of this to be rescinded and changed fairly quickly.
Let's talk a little bit about that. When you talk about how this can't be sustained, do you see, if this happens and you see other countries, putting their own reciprocal tariffs on the U.S. to counter what we've done today, does this touch off a trade war? Does this affect the global economy and slow things down for everyone?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this starts really a breakdown of the entire global supply chain in ways we haven't seen to any significant degree before. It's going to cause some massive changes, and it's going to cause immediate inflation in the United States to a pretty substantial degree.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the president saying that this will make companies come here. It'll make them relocate here and put their factories here and make their products here. And in the meantime, that the U.S. government will collect many billions of dollars in taxes as these imports come in. What do you say to those arguments?
Well, first of all, indeed, the government will collect a lot of taxes, but keep in mind, all of those taxes will be paid by American businesses and American consumers. Tariffs are not paid by the foreign governments, they're paid by us. And so basically, it will definitely be a massive tax increase. In fact, tariff and tax are basically synonymous with tariffs just applying to foreign goods. As far as manufacturing coming back, there are some possibilities. Some of that could happen. You're going to change the relative cost structure. That makes it have more sense to do some things in the United States. We tried to analyze this very carefully, looking at relative costs, tariff scenarios, and that sort of thing. And it appears to us that if these tariffs were to stay in place for a long period of time, about 13% of the goods produced abroad now would probably come back and be produced in the United States. The other 87% would simply be subject to higher costs for the manufacturers and the consumers.
Which means consumers will be paying more. Can you give us an idea before we let you go here as to what we might be looking at as consumers going forward if these tariffs stick and if the ones that were levied before them stick? And Texas, of course, stands to get hit pretty hard here because we bring in so much trade through Mexico.
Oh, absolutely. Texas will be harder hit than any other state simply because of our, number one, we're the number one trading state in the country. We have a huge global presence. And number two, as you mentioned, we have a significant border with Mexico and highly integrated manufacturing going back and forth across the border, often multiple times during the course of producing a product. Just looking at the tariffs on Mexico, China, and Canada alone that have been previously announced, if sustained, would cost the Texas economy almost 500,000 jobs. I mean, these could have some very significant impacts on our economy, both in terms of inflation and in terms of jobs and slowing economic growth.
Boy, that's tremendous when you start to wrap your head around those numbers. Dr. Perryman, we're going to have you back on our Yolitics podcast again because it's almost hard to keep up with these developments as we go. But again, as you say, Texas is very much an impacted state with all of this, especially so. In fact, I know that you juggled your schedule today to fit us in, Dr. Perryman. Thanks so much for taking the time to help us understand this today.